Hi there, thank you for joining me today. I'm Sandra at SandraR. My project for today is this lovely candle box. Recently on my training at Telford, we made this, Hannah McCurley came up with this little candle box which holds a little tea light. She also put in a little box of matches with it as well. And this little sentiment, it's often difficult to make time for yourself as there is always too much to do. And it finishes, so sit in a chair and by the soft candlelight enjoy your drink and think about what is really important in life. And I thought that that was a beautiful sentiment to go with a candle box. So I have reproduced that in my own style as this candle box because I like the giant tea lights. And I've put some little sequin trim on here, and I'll undo it to show you what I've got in my candle box. So we'll open that up, and I have reproduced a sentiment too, which I have put on a piece of blushing bride cardstock, and my sentiment says there never seems to be enough hours in the day to do what we need to do. But sometimes we just need to grab cuppa and relax with a lighted scented tea light to relieve the stresses of the day. And I've got two giant tea lights, mine are rose scented, and I've used the Heart Valentine Designer Series paper, which is in the spring and summer catalogue. So let's get started on that project and start making it. So we're going to start off. I've got some cardstock here which measures 8 by 7.5, and this is Tip Top Taupe. And on my box you'll see that I've done a little bit of stamping. So with this beautiful rose pattern that comes from the Floral Wings Hostess stamp set. If you haven't got this but you've got the watercolour wings, this project would work just as well. So I've prepped my roses up on my block, and I'm going to get my crumb cake ink because I don't have the Tip Top Taupe, so I'm just going to use the crumb cake, which is a very similar colour. And what I've done is I've just randomly stamped all over the card with this design. No rhyme nor reason to it, just if you, like I say, if you haven't got this Hostess set, you could use any little flower to put on your box. I think that's quite good. Let's do a few more. I think that's enough. Just clean that off. So we're now going to we're going to score that in a moment, but first of all we're going to stamp off our butterfly. So I've got my butterfly prepped up on the block, and I'm going to use the crumb cake. What have I done with it? I've lost it. No, here it is. So using the crumb cake ink, I'm going to stamp this onto my Whisper White cardstock, down like that, up, looks good. And then you'll notice that there are some little gaps for you to put your flowers, and on the set there's like a little tab there, and there's a tab on the butterfly, and that lines up that tab, so your hearts go in the your flowers rather go in the middle of that design like that. So I'm going to use rose red. And cut up, and then lining up the tab area going to stamp down like that. I think that's good. And then we take this tab off because we now need to prep up the leaves. Put that away. And the leaves work on the same principle where you've got the tab. You've got your little tab there, and so you're going to line that little tab up, and we're going to use mint macaron for that. So you line that up with the tab, and you can see where the leaves are meant to go. And that's our leaves done. And I think that looks really pretty. So we'll put that away. Now I need to just bring in my big shot because we're going to cut that out. So using these little matching framelit dies, these are the bold butterfly framelets. You get the small one and the big one, and that all works with the watercolour wings stamp set. And there's another stamp set it works with in the main catalogue. I can't remember what it's called now, but it works with this as well. So we'll line that up on our big shot, like that. That looks good, I think. Maybe just move that a fraction. That's it. And roll that through. That's it. And then I'll take that out, and I'll just put that away because we don't need that anymore, and it'll be in the way. So we push that out. Comes out nicely. So that's our butterfly done. So now we're going to score our paper that we've stamped off. So on the 8-inch side we are going to score it at 1 inch and 7 inches. And I've just realised I haven't done the centimetre measurements, but if you go on my blog, if you like to work in centimetres, I'll make sure that that's on there. And then on the 7.5-inch side we're going to score it at 1 inch, at 3 1/4 inches, at 4 1/4 inches, and at 6 1/2 inches. And that's the scoring done. So get rid of that. And then we'll just fold burnish our lines. Then with your scissors we're going to cut up the side with most of the score marks, and we're just going to cut up those and just notch in slightly on these ends, and the same here. I think these scissors are rubbish. I think I need to treat myself to a new pair. Right. So now we just need to put some glue on all these tabs, and I'm going to use my fast fuse today, so just put plenty of glue on these tabs. And then you just put it together like you would in the other box, like that. And this tucks in to here. Like that. And this one like that. And then the lid. Like that. And like that. And then it goes over the top like that. We're just going to notch out a little finger hole. I'll just get my little hole punch. I think this one will be big enough. So about halfway down, just notching a little bit for a finger pull. And then we're going to put our candles in. So I've got my 2 candles here. And my matches. And I've already prepped up my little saying in the box. So we're going to close the lid down. And now we just need to decorate the top. So I've cut a piece of rose red cardstock which measures 5 3/4 by 2 3/16, and we are just going to stick that on the top of the box. Like so. And then we've got our butterfly prepped up, so that goes across there. And then I've got the other framelit dies in the catalogue which are called the butterfly finlets dies, and you get 3 here, a large one, and that one is from that size. So I've already cut that out because I think it looks beautiful looking through. So we're going to put some glue down the centre of our butterfly. Going to just stick that down the middle. As you can see, that lines up beautifully. And then I just prep his wings up by just folding them upwards. Like that. And that sits on there, so I'm just going to put a bit of glue on that, just sitting on the box. Like that. And then we're going to put some little rhinestones on his body. I've got over here. So for that I've used the large size because he's a large butterfly. I've put the large ones on. I think about 5 fits on beautifully. Oops. There. I think that looks pretty. So now we need our ribbon, and for that I've got this beautiful satin ribbon which we are going to put round, nice and silky. So I shall just guess about there, I think, that much, and cut that off. And that wraps around our box here. and then we tie a ribbon, a bow rather. And hope that it looks good. Not bad, eh? Not bad. So I'm just going to trim that slightly. And then I've got my sentiment that I've done already prepped up, which is just for you, which came from the same stamp set, and I've just stamped that in rose red ink and cut it out with my oval punch and cut a bit of tip top taupe with this scalloped oval punch, and that goes through there like that. I've just tied it off. This is the gold cord trim that was from the autumn winter catalogue. Fingers and thumbs. Right, so that's tied that off nicely, and then I'll just trim that off to make it look tidy. And then what else do we need? A little jewel. I think I put a little jewel on the sentiment. And that completes it. So, I hope you enjoyed this project today. Maybe give it a go yourself. All the details are on my website, and I shall try and remember to put the sentiment inches, the sentiment meter measurements on as well for you. Ah, I just forgot. I forgot my little blushing bride sequin trim. That I knew that I hadn't done something. So I cut a bit of this sequin trim. This is the sequin trim, and I've just cut a little length of that and just tied it off, and I just think that that finishes that off really prettily, and I think that's a pretty little box for anything that you would want to put in this box. Actually, it doesn't have to be candles, it can be anything that you would like to give as a gift. So I hope you enjoyed this project today, and until the next time, it's bye bye from me. Bye bye.